Today, I'm going to give you a little bit more information on archetypes. So stay tuned because by the end of this video, you'll have learned how to activate an archetype and what are the shadows. And if this is something you want to learn more about to help you achieve your life goals, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the bell so you don't miss absolutely anything. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha and I'm your vibrational Brazilian therapist. Last week I explained what are archetypes and where they affect us. And now I'm going to teach you how to activate an archetype, which is actually really simple. So do you see this image here in the background of my cell phone? This is an activated archetype, okay? And yes, it's as simple as that to activate an archetype. When you have a background image on your cell phone, you're already being influenced by the energy of that archetype or that combination of archetypes, okay? Tattoos are also activated archetypes that influence us all the time. And when we have a decoration in a room in our home or in our office, it's also an activated archetype in that room, okay? From what I'm going to teach you on activating archetypes, it's just important for you to know that it's as simple as putting an image in the background of your cell phone, okay? So let's talk about lights and shadows of archetypes. So everything, as I already explained on the last video, carries an arc of power. And when we talk about power, there are two sides, the good and the bad, day and night, light and shadow. So everything in life has to have balance. What I want you to understand about the shadows of the archetypes is that when you learn about it, it will set you free. So the first thing you need to understand is that the shadow is not something for you to be afraid of. It's something for you to look at in order to learn, practice, and evolve. So it's all about balance. We have day and night because the sun, it's important, but the moon also has its importance. And as you learn about this, wonderful, magical world, you will understand the importance of shadows in your life transformation process. And it's this process that I want to teach you, okay? So don't ignore shadows. Let's work on them because you are stronger when there are in balance, when there's balance between light and shadow, because that makes you whole. So for example, I started working on some shadows of mine and one of them was pride. So I said, okay, I have pride, but pride is not 100% bad. The shadow is not 100% bad because pride has its shadows and its lights. So I had a hard time apologizing, admitting that I was wrong. And that was a shadow that I needed to work on. But the light of pride was also good. I felt proud of my clients for achieving their goals, proud of my work. So there is shadow light and shadow shadow. And I started working on shadow of the shadow. So I took the pride and I said, okay, how can I improve the shadow of the shadow? How can I work on my difficulties in apologizing and wanting to be right all the time and having a hard time admitting that I was wrong? So I wrote down some plans to help me with that, which I'll share with you in another video, okay? And the light side of the shadow I kept activated because it's good. I don't want to be insensitive with my clients. No, I want to be proud of their achievements. I want to be proud of my niece who gets an A in every subject. I want to be proud of my brothers who love to play soccer. So I want to be proud of them at their soccer game. So imagine if I took this pride, and I kept repressing it. I would be completely out of balance. So let's take the shadow of the word run, for example. The shadow is running away from your responsibilities, running away from problems. But the shadow light in a moment of danger is very important to you. Imagine you repressing it. You're like in a dangerous situation with your toxic positivity saying, no, namaste. The lion knows he's not supposed to attack me. No, sweetie, you gotta run because you are in the archetype of planet Earth. And in this situation, it's time to run. And I was a person who actually had a light imbalance. I was extreme. So that's why I always say, people who knew me years ago understand that today I am someone else. I transformed my life. Not because I'm a saint or a goody two-shoe, that's not it, but because I balance light and shadow. And each time you work on balancing your light and your shadows, you gain maturity, you evolve. And when you come to understand that, you stop being afraid of the shadow of the archetypes. You will learn to consciously use them, consciously use that shadow to help you. Now, of course, I'm not here to indicate that you activate an archetype that has a shadow of aggressiveness. If you're a very aggressive person and you haven't managed to balance that in your life, that's why I always say, look at light and shadow. Understand the light and shadow of that archetype and understand if that's for you, okay? And you know that insomnia of yours, often it's because you don't know how to use your shadows. So look at your shadows starting today from another point of view, because you can feel anger, fear, sadness, insecurity, but you have to channel that feeling and learn what you can do with it. Channel it into the light of the shadow. And sometimes the shadow side of an archetype is really important for some people. Like the shadow of the horse, which is that thing of taking time to gain trust, is really important for a person who trusts everyone with their eyes closed. And sometimes I activate a combination of archetypes for a client that the shadow side is even better for her than the light. And sometimes the light of an archetype can ruin your life. I had a client that reported to me that his marriage was like almost over and he wanted to try something to save it. And when we had our meeting, I asked him, okay, do you use any archetypes? Because here in Brazil, it's very common. And he said, yeah, I use the eagle. And I was like, oh God, the eagle is awful for a relationship. So don't take archetypes as a joke. See the light and shadow side and understand the benefits of the shadows of that archetype for you. Understand what the shadow will do for you. And understand that everything in extreme is bad. So when I was 16 up until I was 22, I was really nice. I was like a pushover. That's what people said. And with that, I let the shadow take over and I became too tough, too mean, too direct. I was extremely out of balance, okay? So don't run away from your shadows. Shadows help you with self-awareness, and self-awareness sets you free. Guys, that's it for today. I think I talked too fast today. Can you just tell me in the comment if I talk too fast and you want me to slow it down? Because on my other videos, I got feedbacks that saying I was talking too slow. So I think I just have to find a balance between that. So your feedback is very important to me. And if you have any question regarding shadows and activating archetypes, leave in the comment below, okay? See you guys in the next video.